From the News Channel 5 Network, this is Inside Politics.
Hello, everyone. I'm News Channel 5 political analyst Pat Nolan. Welcome to Inside Politics. As we approach the end of every year, we try to devote at least one of our Inside Politics programs to look at the local economy, how we did in Nashville and the surrounding area in 2022, and the outlook for 2023. Nobody can speak to that better than the president and CEO of the Nashville Area Chamber of Commerce, Ralph Shulz. Ralph, thank you for joining us on the program again.
Pat, always a pleasure.
Now, it does appear the city's official bird, if you drive around, is still the crane. You see it everywhere you look on the horizon. So in terms of new construction, we're doing well. Are we going to likely set another building permit record?
I'm not sure that we will set another building permit record, although we're just leaving a year where that has occurred, but we've got 47 cranes in the air. That's aggressive investment in space.
All right, the big question for 2022 would be, is the nation and is Nashville either in or headed towards a recession?
Well, I don't think there's any question that we're in an economic adjustment. Different people have labeled that a different way. Some say recession or not. I think what we see in Nashville, though, is again the late arrival at a downturn and then the shallow impact and the rapid rise out.
So people shouldn't expect some huge economic slowdown here in Nashville?
No. Look, the basis of that is we have such a balanced economy. Several different strong industries that counterbalance each other. So when you have that balanced economy, you're not going to see wild swings.
Maybe a bigger ongoing impact from the record inflation we continue to have. It may be going down, but it's not going down very fast.
That's the largest economic issue for us to digest because it affects all sectors of the economy. So getting that inflation back under control is maybe more important than the downturn impact.
Now, the Fed's out here saying we're trying to get it back down to level 2-3% annually. Mm-hmm. Is that possible coming up in 2023? Or are we looking into 2024 or even longer before we get back to those levels?
If you look at history, you would say that the possibility exists of a mid to late 23 at its best, but more likely of a 24 time frame.
Now, home sales have, because of the increase in interest rates, the mortgage rates have gone up. We're seeing a slowdown across the country. In fact, quite a bit of a slowdown nationally. We're seeing some of that in the Nashville area, but are we seeing a decline in prices for homes to buy, or just we're not getting quite the increase we were getting before, which was rapid for last year?
Yeah, we're not seeing the rapid growth rate of value within a year. We're seeing a little more of a stabilizing of prices, but the supply still lags the demand, and so we're gonna continue to see stable real estate, but we need more supply on housing.
Rental costs have gone up maybe as much, if not more, than we saw on home prices. Does that mean we're continuing to see an outflow of essential workers, of policemen, firemen, city workers, other people moving out of Davidson County because they can't afford to buy a house here or rent a house here?
We are seeing that outflow. There was last year 11,000 fewer people living in Davidson County than were there.
That's a census number. That's not just something that
that's not a chamber number. That's a census number. And what you see there is lower income people that have to move to outlying areas to be able to afford housing largely.
Is there anything the city can or should do about arresting that to bring those people back in? What can we do can't the city help increase the supply of housing in the community?
I think housing affordability investment is good. I think incentivizing supply creation is good. But I would tell you that I think the most important long-term protection for people on those costs is education, skill development that's urgent for the jobs that are being created, and then making sure that those jobs are paying those wages that allow people to buy homes and rent homes here.
Are we beginning to see, we've talked about this before, that Nashville, Davidson County is seeing what a lot of big cities are seeing, that the core is not growing nearly as fast as we're seeing in the suburban areas? Is that part of we
actually, if you look as you look at downtown Nashville and measure residents, business, retail. The next 5 years are expected to be stronger in economic performance than the last 5 years. So the downtown core needs to be managed. I think, a big topic in Nashville is how do we manage that authenticity and that hub of downtown Nashville. But it's still an attractive place for people to live, to work, and obviously to be entertained.
You mentioned that decline in overall population in Davidson County of 11,000 during 2021. I suspect some people heard that and said, what, really? Because all they've ever heard about in the last couple of years has been all the new people that are coming into Nashville at record numbers. Has that influx of people declined?
We're continuing to see a net positive in migration to the area, but not to Davidson County, to the whole region. But what we're often seeing is families that will move to outer locations in the region, and that square footage or that housing is people who are moving into that housing are smaller families or smaller groups. So you might see a family of 5 move to Rutherford County and be replaced in that household by 2 people.
We talked a little bit about the situation with jobs, and here I've seen forecasts that we were supposed to see a job growth this year about 3.65%. That's down from 4.6% the year before in 2021. But is our problem not unemployment? Our problem is we don't have enough people to fill the jobs that are available.
Yeah, we don't have enough people. Honestly, we're seeing a job growth, annualized job growth of around 6%. So the reality is the jobs are being created faster than the people.
Ralph Shulz is our guest. He's the president and CEO of the Nashville Area Chamber of Commerce. We're talking about the Nashville area economy in 2022 and what's going to come up in 2023. Back to continue our conversation after these messages.